Hi everyone, I am Dr. Anisha, a PG resident of oral medicine and radiology. As you have seen in the thumbnail, we are going to start with a very new topic from oral medicine, that is your hematological disorders. Now, as far as the topic is concerned, मैं ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि ये जो टॉपिक है दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम बोथ एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू एंड योर क्लिनिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, बिकॉज एग्जाम्स में आपको वाइवा में इससे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. एंड ऑल्सो अगर मैं क्लिनिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू की बात करूं तो दिस टॉपिक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज जो भी आपके सिस्टमिक डिजीज होते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल रेड ब्लड सेल डिसऑर्डर्स, व्हाइट ब्लड सेल्स डिसऑर्डर्स, also the disorders of platelets, bleeding disorders, clotting disorders, ये सारे disorders का जो symptoms है ये orally भी reflect करता है, and it is very important to understand the oral manifestations of these diseases so that a proper treatment protocol can be followed. Also the diseases can be diagnosed at the right time for a good prognosis, right? So today we shall be dealing the hematological disorders in sections, and today we shall be dealing with the red blood cell disorders. Fine. So let us start the discussion. But before starting the discussion, I would like you to kindly subscribe to my channel for further videos. So as far as contents are concerned, I'll be giving an introduction of the topic. Then I shall be talking about the classification of hematological disorders, and I will be giving the classification here also. Fine. Then we'll be talking something about the pathophysiology of the disorders of the blood cells. Then I'll be having a detailed discussion of all the common disorders of the blood cells, right? Starting from the disorders of red blood cells, then white blood cells, and lastly the disorders which are concerned with the platelets. And we'll be talking about the dental management also. All right. So let us start with the introduction. फर्स्टली अगर मैं hematological disorders क्या है अगर बात करूं इन अ वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज, आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू जो भी डिसऑर्डर्स ब्लड या ब्लड फॉर्मिंग सेल्स से रिलेटेड होंगे दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज hematological disorders, right? So this term was given by William Harvey in 1628, and of course अगर हम oral medicine में इसके importance की बात करें तो firstly early diagnosis में it is very important because जो भी आपके systemic disorders हैं वो some or the other time ये oral manifestations देते हैं. So for a very early diagnosis of the systemic disease we are supposed to know about these disorders. Fine. Then oral symptoms जो होते हैं they obviously precede the systemic diagnosis, and for guiding safe surgical care and treatment planning we need to know about these disorders. Okay, so this was the introduction. Now अगर मैं overall एक concept दूं, we have already studied about the blood, right? तो ब्लड जो है इट कंसिस्ट्स ऑफ 55% ऑफ प्लाज्मा, देन द रिमेनिंग 45% इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ द डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ ब्लड सेल. फाइन. तो प्लाज्मा में आपके प्रोटीन आते हैं, मैक्सिमम अमाउंट इज बेसिकली फॉर्म्ड बाय वाटर एंड अदर सॉल्यूट्स इज 1%. एंड एज फार एज द ब्लड सेल्स आर कंसर्न, सो 45% इज ऑक्यूपाइड बाय द आरबीसीज. Less than 1% is your platelet, and less than 1% is your leukocyte. Okay. Now coming to the classification of hematological disorders, ये एक बहुत important classification है which we need to know. Okay. So firstly today I will be talking about the disorders of RBC in this video. Okay. So talking about the disorders of RBCs, अगर मैं कॉज के बेसिस पे इसको क्लासिफाई करूं तो फर्स्टली वी हैव गॉट हीमोग्लोबिनोपैथी. दैट मीन्स जो आपका हेमोग्लोबिन प्रोटीन होगा आरबीसी में उसमें जो भी डिफेक्ट होगा एंड उसके वजह से जो डिसऑर्डर्स होंगे, सो दे विल बी इंक्लूडेड इन दिस कैटेगरी, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल सिकल सेल अनीमिया, वी विल टॉक इन डिटेल अबाउट ईच एंड एवरी डिसऑर्डर in this discussion which is related to RBC. Now, thalassemia is also one of the, hemoglobinopathy, and finally, hemoglobin C disease is included in this. Now, coming to the cytoskeletal abnormality, इसमें basically क्या है, जो भी आपके RBC का जो स्ट्रक्चर में abnormality होगा, या फिर permeability of the RBC को affect करेगा जो भी disorder, वो इसमें included होगा, right? For example, hereditary spherocytosis, of course जो भी इसके shapes हैं उनके वजह से जो defect होगा, that will be included in the cytoskeletal abnormality, right? Now coming to enzymopathy, there are some deficiency of the enzyme which lead to the disorders. For example, G6 phosphate deficiency. Okay. Lastly, increase or decrease in number of RBC, इसमें iron deficiency anemia, pernicious anemia, aplastic anemia, polycythemia and hemolytic anemia are included. Now increase भी हो सकता है तो भी it is a disorder, decrease होगा तो भी it will be a disorder. Now coming to the disorders of red blood cell में सबसे पहले we will be talking about polycythemia. So सबसे पहले अगर polycythemia की बात करूं तो what is polycythemia? नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, whenever the number of circulating RBC increases, so this condition is known as polycythemia, right? जब भी circulating RBC का जो number है वो increase हो जाएगा due to any reason, that will be known as polycythemia. So basically polycythemia is of two types, relative and absolute. Fine. तो जो रिलेटिव पॉलीसाइथीमिया है, इट इज बेसिकली ड्यू टू लॉस ऑफ फ्लूइड. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज, आपका जो ब्लड है उसमें जो भी फ्लूइड पोर्शन है, अगर उसका लॉस हो जाएगा तो जो सॉल्यूट्स प्रेजेंट होंगे, जो सेल्स प्रेजेंट होंगे, दे विल बी कंपैरेटिवली मोर इन नंबर, राइट? विस्कस हो जाएगा ब्लड, ओके, थिक हो जाएगा ब्लड. सो दिस इज बेसिकली ड्यू टू द लॉस ऑफ फ्लूइड विथ हीमो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द सेल, which is seen in cases like vomiting, diarrhea, okay, loss of electrolyte with accompanying loss of water. Okay, so this is your relative polycythemia. ये absolute यानी ये exact polycythemia नहीं होता है, but this occurs due to the loss of solute. जो solvent, that is your water, जो water का जो amount है वो जब body में decrease हो जाता है, तब जो red blood cells हैं they concentrate, वो thick हो जाते हैं and they make the blood viscous. So this is your relative polycythemia. Coming to absolute polycythemia. Absolute polycythemia can be of two types, primary polycythemia and secondary polycythemia. Okay, primary जो होगा that will be your true idiopathic condition होगा, and actually इसमें increase in number of circulating RBC and hemoglobin level होगा, and this is basically genetic in nature and it occurs due to mutation of JAK2 gene. Fine. Now coming to your secondary polycythemia, also known as bone marrow anoxia due to pulmonary dysfunction, high altitude or carbon monoxide poisoning. Now also production of erythropoietic stimulating factor जब decrease हो जाता है तभी भी your secondary polycythemia can occur, and the chemicals and drugs like coal tar or mercury can be responsible for this. Fine. Now it is a chronic stem cell disorder. Polycythemia vera की अगर बात करूं, there is a condition known as polycythemia vera and it is a chronic stem cell disorder, okay, and it is characterized by a pan-hyperplastic, malignant and neoplastic bone marrow disorder. Okay, so basically what happens is ये एक stem cell disorder है, as we all know जो आपके blood cells हैं they are formed in the bone marrow. Fine. तो जो bone marrow है वो neoplastic हो जाता है. That is why there is uncontrolled multiplication of blood cells, and there is absolute increase in the circulating RBC and total blood volume. Fine. Also since bone marrow में problem है, bone marrow has become hyperplastic and neoplastic, तो इसीलिए WBC and platelets का number जो है वो भी increase हो जाएगा. Fine. नाउ कमिंग टू द क्लिनिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन, अगर क्लिनिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन की बात की जाए तो द सिम्टम्स आर प्रूराइटिस, vertigo, headache, blurred vision, weakness, erythromyalgia and deep vein thrombosis. Now अगर मैं इनके reasons की बात करूं तो I already told you ये जो blood cells हैं इनके नंबर इतने ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं कि the blood becomes very thick and viscous, right? And thick and viscous होने के वजह से जो इनका flow है body parts में that becomes it decreases, okay? And जब blood flow decrease हो जाएगा तो वहां ऑक्सीजन नहीं पहुंचेगा and therefore these symptoms will occur. Fine. For example, vertigo. अगर आपके ब्रेन में पेशेंट के ब्रेन में अगर प्रॉपर ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई नहीं है तो देयर विल बी हेडेक, देयर विल बी वर्टिगो, देयर विल बी ब्लर्ड विजन. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू एरिथ्रोमाइल्जिया, ऑफ कोर्स मसल वीकनेस होगा. ओके, एंड देन डीप वेन थ्रोम्बोसिस, बिकॉज जो आपके प्लेटलेट्स हैं उनका नंबर भी इंक्रीज हो चुका है एंड देन देयर विल बी फॉर्मेशन ऑफ क्लॉट्स इन द वेन्स एंड सो देयर विल बी डीप वेन थ्रोम्बोसिस. फाइन. Coming to the oral manifestation, which is important from dental point of view, what happens is erythema of mucosa will be seen. Of course, the red blood cells are too much in number, तो आप oral mucosa में पूरा reddish देखेंगे. There will be erythema of mucosa. Fine. Now there will be glossitis, tongue भी it will be inflamed. Okay, erythematous and edematous gingiva. Of course, the gingiva is also going to be inflamed and spontaneous gingival bleeding. Fine. कमिंग टू द लैबोरेटरी फाइंडिंग्स, जो आरबीसी है उनका शेप और नंबर का अगर बात किया जाए तो दैट इज नॉर्मोसिटिक, नॉर्मोक्रोमिक इन नेचर. ओके, नाउ हेमोग्लोबिन लेवल इज मोर देन 16 gram%. Platelets, of course, they will be increased since bone marrow defect is there. So 4 lakh to 8 lakh, cells per cubic mm of blood is seen. And bone marrow, of course, is hypercellular. And megakaryocytes जो हैं, उनके number increase हो जाते हैं. Okay? And finally, अगर मैं treatment की बात करूं तो phlebotomy and chemotherapy, are the treatment of choice. Radioactive phosphorus is also used to suppress the excessive bone marrow activity. Fine? So, this was all about your polycythemia and a condition known as polycythemia vera. Now we have talked about the abnormality in which the red blood cells are increased in number. Let us talk about the abnormalities in which the red blood cells, the number of the red blood cells are decreased. तो इस कंडीशन को we all know, we call it anemia. Okay, so anemia, it refers to the reduction in RBC count, hemoglobin count and your packed cell volume. Fine. Now obviously जब आपके रेड ब्लड सेल्स जो हैं वो डिक्रीज हो जाएंगे तो बॉडी में जो ऑक्सीजन का जो कैरिंग कैपेसिटी है वो भी कम हो जाएगा. ओके, सो अगर मैं etiological classification of anemia की बात करूं, so loss of blood can be one of them. Okay, and it includes acute or chronic post hemorrhagic anemia. So basically there is loss of blood and then loss of blood होने की वजह से बॉडी में anemia हो जाएगा. ओके, देन एक्सेसिव डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ आरबीसीज. नाउ वी हैव सर्टेन रीजंस इन विच जो आरबीसीज हैं उनका डिस्ट्रक्शन हो जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल एक्स्ट्रा कॉर्पस्कुलर कॉजेस, फॉर एग्जांपल एंटीबॉडीज, ओके, एंड इन्फेक्शन. नाउ वी हैव इंट्रा कॉर्पस्कुलर कॉजेस जिनमें की जो डिफेक्ट है दैट इज इन द आरबीसी ओनली and it includes RBC membrane abnormality and also your acquired causes like lead poisoning. Fine. And thirdly we have erythropoiesis में deficiency. अब अगर deficiency in erythropoiesis हो जाएगा due to any factor which helps in erythropoiesis, for example iron, तो उसमें हम we call it iron deficiency anemia. And if it is due to vitamin B12, folic acid and protein deficiency, we call it megaloblastic anemia. And finally inadequate production of mature erythrocytes can one of the reason for the cause of anemia. Fine. So this was all about the causes of anemia. Now I shall be talking about each and every kind of anemia one by one. And firstly, we will talk about iron deficiency anemia. So, iron deficiency anemia is one of the most important anemias from the examination point of view. नाम से समझ में आ रहा है बॉडी में डेफिनेटली आयरन जो है वो डिक्रीज्ड अमाउंट में है. सो रिडक्शन इन टोटल बॉडी आयरन वेयर आयरन स्टोर्स आर फुल्ली एग्जॉस्टेड. फाइन. And of course females are most commonly affected. ठीक है. And coming to the etiology, what are the causes? It can be a chronic blood loss, it can be inadequate dietary intake by the patient, then it can be faulty iron absorption. As we all know, iron जो है उसको consume करने के बाद there are certain mechanisms by which iron gets absorbed in the body. Also we have different kinds of interactions जिसमें कि आप अगर मिल्क के साथ अगर आप आयरन लेते हैं तो आयरन का एब्जॉर्प्शन कम हो जाता है. विटामिन सी के साथ अगर लेंगे तो आयरन जो है वो ज्यादा बेटर तरीके से एब्जॉर्ब होगा. सो देयर कैन बी फॉल्टी आयरन एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑल्सो. नाउ स्पेशल केसेस लाइक इन्फेंसी, प्रेगनेंसी एंड चाइल्डहुड कैन बी वन ऑफ द रीजन जिसमें कि आयरन जो है, आयरन का जो स्टोर है वो इट इज नॉट सफिशिएंट. ओके. Now coming to the clinical manifestation, let us talk about the clinical manifestation. So what happens is there is chronic fatigue. Why there is chronic fatigue we already know, because oxygen supply जो है बॉडी में ऑलरेडी कम हो चुका है. तो इसीलिए पेशेंट जो है क्रोनिकली अपने आप को वीक या फिर थका हुआ महसूस करता है. देयर इज फटीगनेस इन द बॉडी. नाउ कमिंग टू द पेलर ऑफ कंजक्टाइवा, लिप्स एंड ओरल म्यूकोजा. ऑब्वियसली ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई कम है, रेड ब्लड सेल का सप्लाई कम है, देयर इज डिक्रीज्ड नंबर ऑफ रेड ब्लड सर्कुलेटिंग रेड ब्लड सेल्स इन द बॉडी. तो इसीलिए जो भी आपका एरिया होगा जहां पे म्यूकोजा थिन होगा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कंजक्टाइवा, लिप्स, ओरल म्यूकोजा, दे ऑल अपीयर येलोइश और पेल. ऑल राइट. Coming to the brittle nails with spooning and cracking. So one of the very classic sign of iron deficiency anemia is your spooning of nail. Okay. And also the cracking of nail, because blood supply जो है वो periphery में बहुत कम होगा. Okay. Blood supply, oxygen supply is very less in the peripheral region. तो इसीलिए there will be brittle nails and spooning of nails can be seen. Now splitting of nail beds, that is your koilonychia. Okay. Then your palmar creases can be seen, palpitations can be felt, and also shortness of breath and numbness. Now why shortness of breath? Because जो आपका जो ऑक्सीजन कंजम्पशन है बॉडी में उसके हिसाब से जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई हो रहा है टू द सेल्स ऑफ द बॉडी इज लेस, एंड उसको कॉम्पनसेट करने के लिए जो बॉडी है द नंबर ऑफ ब्रेथ increases. Okay. There is tachycardia in the body, and that is why tachycardia के वजह से there will be shortness of breath, so that जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई है बॉडी को वो मिलती रहे. Okay. Now coming to the oral manifestation, very important. Firstly, angular cheilitis is one of the oral manifestations of iron deficiency anemia. Now what happens is जो आपका oral mucosa है या epithelium है उसके health को maintain करने के लिए we need iron. Also oxygen supply के लिए भी हमें iron चाहिए, red blood cells चाहिए. Okay. So जब ये सारी चीजें डिक्रीज हो जाती हैं तो जो कॉर्नर ऑफ माउथ है इसमें एंगुलर किलाइटिस हो जाता है. ओके. Then we have glossitis with different degree of atrophy of fungiform and filiform papillae. Now blood supply कम हो जाएगा तो जो टंग पे जो papillas present होते हैं they are also going to atrophy. उनमें atrophy हो जाएगी. Then your pale oral mucosa, I already told you the reason. Then we have oral candidiasis. Since body में जो आपका protective mechanism है वो भी decrease हो जाएगा. So अलग मतलब superimpose होके oral candidiasis can be seen. Now recurrent aphthous stomatitis, one of the oral manifestation, erythematous mucositis and burning mouth. Okay. Now burning mouth इसीलिए because जो oral mucosa है it is atrophied, it is thinned out. तो जो नीचे nerve endings present होते हैं they are basically exposed. तो कुछ भी स्पाइसी खाएगा पेशेंट, कुछ भी देयर विल बी एनी काइंड ऑफ स्टिम्युलेंट विच इज प्रेजेंट इन द माउथ, इट कैन कॉज बर्निंग माउथ इन द पेशेंट. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट द ओरल मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ आयरन डेफिशिएंसी अनीमिया. नाउ कमिंग टू द लैबोरेटरी फाइंडिंग्स, आप अगर लैब फाइंडिंग्स देखेंगे तो इसमें माइक्रोसिटिक हाइपोक्रोमिक अनीमिया आपको नजर आएगा. द शेप इज गोइंग टू बी स्मॉल. जो आपका बेसिकली जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई है वो कम है, सो दैट इज वाई द color is also deranged. It is hypochromic in nature. Now low hemoglobin can be seen, low serum iron and ferritin is seen, and also the most important thing to be remembered is जो total iron binding capacity होगी body की, that will be elevated. Okay, क्योंकि जो भी आपके iron binding elements present होते हैं उनको sufficient amount of iron नहीं मिल रहा है bound करने के लिए, bind करने के लिए. So इसीलिए जो total iron binding capacity है body की, that is increased. Now coming to the treatment part, normally 100 to 200 milligrams of iron is to be taken daily. Okay, now oral iron supplementation can be taken in the form of ferrous sulfate, in which there is 20% elemental iron, ferrous gluconate, in which 12% elemental iron is present, and ferrous fumarate, that is 33% of elemental iron is present in it. Fine. IV iron supplementation can be also given in a very critical condition. Also IM, intramuscular iron is available, but then we do not give it in intramuscular form, because severe site injury can be occurred, can be there. Injection pain is too much, and also it causes inconsistent absorption. Fine. Now, whenever we talk about iron deficiency anemia, one syndrome is very important from examination point of view, that is your Plummer-Vinson syndrome. Fine. It is also known as Patterson-Keeley syndrome. It is a very rare syndrome जो कि middle-aged white women में ज़्यादा देखा जाता है. We have a classical triad syndrome है, तो there will be multiple signs and symptoms which are seen, and in this we have a very classical triad which includes firstly iron deficiency anemia, then we have dysphagia, and lastly upper esophageal webs or strictures are present. I'll again repeat, ये जो आपका Plummer-Vinson syndrome है, ये 3 symptoms से बना होता है, which is known as classic triad. Okay, firstly iron deficiency anemia will always be there, then the patient has dysphagia, and then lastly there is upper esophageal webs or strictures which are present in the patient. Fine. Etiology is unknown iron deficiency, obviously. Then malnutrition can be there in the patient, genetic predisposition also plays a role, and autoimmune process can be a reason. Fine. Now other symptoms which are present in this syndrome is your glossitis, angular cheilitis, and spoon shaped nails. Now आपका iron deficiency anemia का जो भी clinical symptoms होगा, of course that will be present in Plummer-Vinson syndrome also. जहाँ तक diagnosis की बात करूँ तो diagnosis is via barium swallow and endoscopy. Okay, I'll put the pictures and you can refer to them. Now coming to the treatment part, medical treatment is always iron supplementation. Elemental iron हम देते हैं patient को in the range of 150 to 200 mg for iron deficiency anemia. Now as far as dysphagia is concerned, तो endoscopic dilation has to be done because patient जो है वो swallow नहीं कर पा रहा है, right? Now advanced disease में हम endoscopic balloon dilatation and Savary-Gilead dilators का use करते हैं. The patient is advised to eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Okay, and surgery is rarely indicated and is reserved for those webs which are unmanageable with dilation and they are associated with Zenker diverticulum. So Zenker diverticulum sometimes is formed in such patients जिनमें कि webs जो हैं वो unmanageable हो जाते हैं, and there is a muscle at the junction of your pharynx and esophagus, that is your cricopharyngeus muscle, and इसमें एक pouch form हो जाता है in the backside of the esophagus, that is known as your Zenker's diverticulum. Fine. So this was all about your Plummer-Vinson syndrome. कमिंग टू hemolytic anemia, नाम से समझ में आ रहा है there will be destruction of the RBCs due to various reasons. Okay, so it results if bone marrow is not able to replenish the premature destroyed RBCs. So the destruction is basically of the premature RBCs. Okay, now three mechanism for accelerated destruction can be seen. Firstly, molecular defect of RBC. जो RBC है उनका जो formation है, जो structure है, उसमें molecular defect अगर हो जाए, then your abnormality in the function of RBC. Then finally we have environmental factor which includes your mechanical trauma. Now as far as clinical feature is concerned, again the symptoms of anemia has to be there, which includes your fatigue, pallor, breathlessness, tachycardia. Now jaundice is one of the most important clinical feature, since ये premature RBCs का destruction है. So what happens is your unconjugated bilirubin is increased in the body. Fine. And jaundice भी obviously होगा. Also dark urine is seen, which is known as hemoglobinuria, and also splenomegaly is one of the very important clinical feature in chronic hemolysis, because हमको पता है जो भी RBC का destruction है, spleen is known as the graveyard of RBCs, so इसीलिए splenomegaly is also seen. Now as far as oral manifestation is concerned, pallor of mucosa, obviously hyperplastic bone marrow spaces of मैंडिबल एंड मैक्सिला. नाउ कॉम्पनसेट करने के लिए नंबर ऑफ आरबीसीज को इंक्रीज करना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट इज वाई जो भी बोन मैरो स्पेसेस होंगे बॉडी में, दे आर गोना एक्सपैंड, दे आर गोना वाइडन, and these spaces are particularly known as diploic spaces. And जो भी आप एक्सरे देखेंगे तो उसमें आपको हाइपरप्लास्टिक मैरो स्पेसेस या फिर वाइड मैरो स्पेसेस आपको नजर आएंगे. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू द लैब फाइंडिंग्स, इंक्रीज्ड रेटिकुलोसाइट काउंट, बोन मैरो का ये रिस्पॉन्स है, सिंस प्रीमेच्योर आरबीसी का डिस्ट्रक्शन हो गया है तो जो बोन मैरो है दैट इज गोइंग टू वर्क टू मच, एंड जिसकी वजह से जो रेटिकुलोसाइट काउंट होगा that is gonna get increased. Fine. Low haptoglobin levels, because जो भी आपका free hemoglobin है जो बाइंड करता है, it gets depleted. So जो haptoglobin level है वो भी लो हो जाएगा. Okay. Now जो आपका lactose dehydrogenase होगा, that is going to increase, बिकॉज जो डिस्ट्रॉयड आरबीसी है वो एलडीएच को इंक्रीज करेगा. नाउ कमिंग टू डायरेक्ट कूम्स टेस्ट, ऑटो इम्यून हेमोलिटिक अनीमिया में इट कम्स पॉजिटिव. एज वी नो, जो भी आपके ऑटो इम्यून डिजीजेस हैं उनमें हम कूम्स टेस्ट करते हैं, एंड अगर ये ऑटो इम्यून नेचर का होगा तो जो डायरेक्ट कूम्स टेस्ट होगा दैट इज गोइंग टू बी पॉजिटिव. नाउ बोन मैरो एग्जाम अगर आप करेंगे तो एरिथ्रॉइड हाइपरप्लेजिया इज सीन. Finally, coming to the treatment, corticosteroid, obviously to suppress the immune system. Then your blood transfusion has to be done in case of your severe anemia. Iron and folic acid supplementation has to be given because iron obviously is depleted. Also splenomegaly को आपको treat करना पड़ेगा, okay, splenectomy करके. Now coming to the next type of anemia, that is your sickle cell anemia. Now it is a hereditary type of hemolytic anemia, chronic hemolytic anemia, in which there is mutation in the HBB gene जो कि 11th क्रोमोसोम पे प्रेजेंट होता है. Now what happens is जो आपके बीटा ग्लोबिन चेन है उनमें जो 6th पोजीशन पे ग्लूटामिक एसिड प्रेजेंट होता है, उसके जगह पे वेलाइन नाम का जो अमाइनो एसिड है दैट रिप्लेसेस इट. ओके, सो देयर इज सब्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ वेलाइन ऑन ग्लूटामिक एसिड एट 6th पोजीशन ऑफ बीटा ग्लोबिन चेन. नाउ इट रिजल्ट्स इन HbS kind of hemoglobin. Okay, जो कि नॉर्मली HbA टाइप ऑफ प्रेजेंट होता है. ओके, नाउ HbS के प्रेजेंट होने की वजह से what happens is the RBC becomes rigid, sticky and crescent shape. So there is change in the texture of the RBC, shape of the RBC, and that is why there is faster breakdown of the RBC. Okay, so ये एक hemolytic anemia की कैटेगरी में आता है. Now coming to the symptoms, again fatigue, swelling in hands and feet, anemia will be there, frequent pain episodes, which is known as sickle cell crisis. So please keep this in mind. Sickle cell anemia में एक frequent pain episode present होता है, and it is known as your sickle cell crisis. Jaundice will be present since RBCs का destruction है, तो इसीलिए your unconjugated bilirubin level increases, so that is why jaundice will be present. Now delayed growth of the body parts will be there, and lastly hematuria will be present. Now coming to the oral manifestation of sickle cell anemia, significant bone changes are seen in the dental radiograph. I already explained you why. Mild to severe osteoporosis will be seen, loss of trabeculation of bone will be there, enamel hypomineralization will be there, then pallor of oral mucosa, delayed eruption of teeth and pulpal necrosis. This is all because blood supply में जो oxygen level है, since hemoglobin का जो structure है that is defected, and that is why the oxygen supply is poor, and so these manifestations are seen. Okay, coming to the radiographic features, one of the very classic radiographic feature of sickle cell anemia, which one has to remember anyhow, is your hair on end appearance. Fine. So basically what happens is hair like perpendicular trabeculations are seen on the radiograph, and it is basically due to the hyperactivity of the bone marrow, and it leads to the thinning of the cortical plates, जिसके वजह से जो आपके bony trabeculae हैं वो ऐसा ऐसा लगता है मानो hair is standing on the surface of the skull. Fine, because the bony trabeculae are very much perpendicular or vertical to the surface of the skull. Fine. Now there will be generalized osteoporosis, as I have already told, and enlarged medullary activity can be seen. Now treatment is symptomatic management of vaso-occlusive crisis. Since the RBCs have a very defective shape and nature, that is they are very rigid, sticky, तो जो peripheral areas हैं उनमें blood supply obviously it's very low, and also there is vaso-occlusive crisis, right? So symptomatic management of vaso-occlusive crisis has to be done, chronic pain syndrome has to be managed, and obviously chronic hemolytic anemia has to be managed, right? So this was all about your sickle cell anemia. Coming to the next category of anemia, that is thalassemia. Thalassemia is basically the disorder of hemoglobin synthesis. Now what happens is, hemoglobin is basically made up of heme and globin part, right? So there is disturbance of either alpha or beta hemoglobin chain production, and it was well described by Thomas B. Cooley in 1925. Fine. Now as far as pathogenesis is concerned, a normal adult hemoglobin has two pairs of alpha chain and a beta chain. So basically heme is conjugated to globin in a normal condition. Now in heterogeneous group, what happens is there is diminished synthesis of alpha chain or beta chain of HbA, and this is known as your thalassemia minor or trait. So basically what happens is there is diminished synthesis of one of the alpha chain or beta chain, so that is why it is known as thalassemia minor. Fine. तो जो इनके symptoms होंगे वो भी बहुत ही they will not be much severe. Now coming to the next category, that is your thalassemia alpha. In this condition there is complete absence or deficiency of alpha chain. Okay, now thalassemia beta नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, deficiency of beta chain, and this condition is known as thalassemia major or beta thalassemia or Cooley's anemia, right? Please keep this in mind, it is a very potential viva question. What is thalassemia major? Thalassemia major is basically complete deficiency of beta chain, okay, also known as beta thalassemia or Cooley's anemia. Fine. Now there is decrease in the synthesis of total hemoglobin obviously, so there will be severe hypochromic anemia. Excess alpha chain precipitates as insoluble inclusion body within the RBC. Now what happens is, whenever there is complete absence of beta chain, now the excess alpha chain which is formed is precipitated as an insoluble inclusion body in the RBC. जब आप RBC को observe करेंगे तो आपको उनमें inclusion bodies दिखाई देंगे which are known as Fez's bodies. Please keep this in mind. They are the intracellular inclusion bodies which are seen in the RBCs, and it increases the RBC hemolysis. So Fez's body are the inclusion bodies which are formed because of excess alpha chain present, and they basically lead to the destruction of the RBC. Now coming to the clinical manifestation, yellow pallor of the skin will be seen, obviously, fever, chills and malaise, generalized weakness, hepatomegaly and splenomegaly, since there is destruction of RBCs. Now there is very classic feature in manifestation, clinical manifestation of thalassemia, especially beta thalassemia, that is your rodent facies and also known as chipmunk facies. Now what happens is the glass mongoloid feature is seen. Okay, there will be prominence of cheeks, protrusion of the maxillary anterior teeth and depression of the bridge of the nose. Fine. As far as oral manifestation is concerned, unusual prominence of premaxilla is seen and anemic pallor is observed throughout the oral mucosa. Fine. Now coming to the laboratory findings, hypochromic microcytic anemia is observed. Okay, RBCs को अगर observe किया जाए तो there will be poikilocytosis and anisocytosis. Okay, WBCs are well elevated, and bone marrow में अगर आप exam करो तो cellular hyperplasia is seen with large number of immature primitive stem cell of RBCs. Now staining अगर किया जाए तो methyl blue demonstrates inclusion bodies, also known as Fez's body. I already told you. Now coming to the radiographic findings, rib within a rib feature is noted in the anterior and middle portion of the ribs. Okay, hair on end appearance, of course, all these appearances because of the widened bone marrow spaces which are present in the case of thalassemia. Okay, now compensate करने के लिए number of RBCs को increase करना पड़ेगा, and that is why there is hyperactivity or hyperplastic bone marrow seen. Now also it is known as salt and pepper effect. Treatment is your blood transfusion and bone marrow transplant, right? Lastly, we will be covering the megaloblastic anemia. With this, we will be done with the disorders of the RBC. So, coming to megaloblastic anemia, it is adult form of anemia associated with gastric atrophy and loss of intrinsic factor production in gastric secretion. Now, what happens is, जो आपका intrinsic factor है, वो जिस भी वजह से अगर उसका loss हो जाए, तो there will be less absorption of vitamin B12. Okay, so in this case, there will be an anemia known as megaloblastic anemia. Now, autoimmune disease है, and auto antibodies are directed against the intrinsic factor and gastric parietal cells. Also one thing which we need to learn is vitamin B12 का जो presence है, that is very much important for maturation of the RBCs, for maturing of the RBCs. Okay, now defective DNA synthesis होगा, and it will cause bone marrow to produce abnormally large immature red blood cells. Okay, since RBC के maturation में DNA synthesis में vitamin B12 plays a very vital role, and megaloblastic anemia में vitamin B12 का जो absorption है that is defected, तो इस केस में आपका जो bone marrow है that will produce abnormally large immature red blood cells. Fine. As far as symptoms are concerned, fatigue and weakness will be there, pale skin, smooth tender tongue will be there, loss of papillae will be seen. Okay, neurological issues will be there, since जो DNA synthesis है RBCs का that is deranged, तो जो nerves जो होंगे, nerve cells जो होंगे, that will have a very poor oxygen supply, and that is why there will be numbness, tingling in hands and feet, difficulty in walking, and mental issues will be there. Fine. Coming to the oral manifestation, burning sensation in tongue, lips, buccal mucosa and other mucosal sites, inflamed tongue, also known as beefy red tongue. Please keep this in mind. This can be a very potential viva question. the beefy tongue is seen in which kind of anemia? That is your megaloblastic anemia, okay? Because the tongue is absolutely red and inflamed, so that is why the term has been used as beefy red tongue. Now glossitis, glossodynia and glossopyrosis is also seen. Gradually atrophy of the papilla of tongue is seen, and this condition is known as Hunter's glossitis or Moeller's glossitis. Fine. Now coming to the laboratory findings, blood will have a very decreased count of RBCs, macrocytosis is present and poikilocytosis is present. The shape is mainly pear or teardrop, shaped. Pear or teardrop shaped RBCs are present, okay, whenever you do a H&E stain. Increased hemoglobin content is present. Now mild to moderate thrombocytopenia is noticed. One of the very important feature is your hypersegmented neutrophils. Please keep this in mind, since the the level of vitamin B12 is decreased, so there will be a very defected DNA synthesis in case of megaloblastic anemia. So hypersegmented or abnormal neutrophils are seen in the H&E stain. Now as far as serum is examined, so indirect bilirubin may be elevated, and जो आपका serum LDH level है, that is also increased because of destruction of RBCs. Fine. Coming to the bone marrow exam, hypercellular with megaloblasts are seen, okay. Leukopenia and thrombocytopenia is present. Lastly, coming to the treatment part, weekly intramuscular injections of 1000 micrograms of vitamin B12 for 4 to 6 weeks is given initially, and then delayed treatment permits progression of anemia and neurological complications. Anemia and neurological complications are seen whenever delayed treatment is seen, okay. Now this was all about the disorders which are concerned with the red blood cells. With this I am done with the red blood cells disorders, and in the next video I shall be moving on to the white blood cells disorders, okay. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me in the comment section. I hope I have made the topic clear. So to know more about such topics, you can subscribe to my channel, BDS Lectures by Dr. Anisha Jha. Thank you so much.